these are all limbs that have actually been created for and used by people. They're not necessarily the kind of everyday limbs that those people will end up using if they're a prosthetics user, but they are unique and they often have a function that is different or utterly impossible for a human body to have. This one, for example, has an actual speaker wired into it, and that's something that is impossible for a human limb to do. And so we're really interested in that concept of how can we upgrade or change or enhance the human body, and this is one take on how that can be achieved.
My first thought was it was unusual and why would you want to decorate a prosthetic limb, but then human beings decorate themselves with jewellery and piercings and tattoos anyway, so if you had a prosthetic limb, why would you not want to decorate the same as you would your body?
In the distant future, the functionality and the technology behind prosthetics and potentially the aesthetics of them could get to a point where it becomes an option that people seriously consider. I don't think that we're anywhere near there yet, but it's a foreseeable thing. You never know.
Humans, living in the greatest and fastest period of technological development in human history, it is time to cut the apron strings from our Mother Nature. She has suckled us and nurtured us and watched us improve on her designs as we picked up and sharpened stones into tools.
If you want to see more about the work, the mind works in much the same way. If I stabilise my hand, it disappears. T-Rex can't see you if you don't move. As soon as you move, if the message is the same, they don't send it anymore. Yeah. They adapt, because that would be a waste of energy.
It still doesn't show.
That's right. It's just about good enough to make out different letters.
Right now, for focus shot. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
This implant here, for example, goes in the motor cortex, so that's the area of the brain that connects to all our muscles, and it detects and it observes electrical activity in that part of the brain. And what we do is we analyze those signals and we try to get real-time control signals such that we can control, for example, an external prosthetic limb or a mouse cursor on a computer.
It's just about good enough to make out different letters.
This only has 100 electrodes on it. If we're going to want control of an arm that moves like my arm, we're going to have to record from thousands of channels, which is going to require new technology. So we need to improve the technology, but we also need to make it more reliable.
And we did find that when we gave people the lighter footstep sounds, they felt happier, that they have more self-esteem, that they walked in a straighter posture, and they moved their feet quicker.
mathematics anxiety is the fear of mathematics. And what we found is that people who have a high fear of mathematics, their mathematical performance on that task improved, while their anxiety went down. And we measured anxiety using cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which we can analyze through saliva. So people just have to spit into a test tube and we can analyze that. And we found that under real stimulation, cortisol concentrations dropped for people with high maths anxiety, and their performance on a basic mathematical task went up. But here's where it gets interesting. For the people with low mathematics anxiety, we found the opposite effect.
£100 billion in the UK alone. And in so doing, individual human beings begin to raise themselves from the gutter.